Hey guys, so one of the guys who was watching yesterday's video asked about this car, and this is a 73 Porsche 914 I bought, I don't know, a couple of years ago, and I was going to fix it up and drive it myself, but I decided, well, it needed a little bit more work, needed work in the front and the rear trunks. And I decided I wasn't going to do it at that time because I kind of wanted. At that time, I bought it as a summer driver. But now that I got the Apache, I got just too many projects. Like the shop is stupid full of vehicles, so I have to do something about it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to strip this car, like strip the body down, fix the rust in the front and the rear trunks, and then I'm going to move it on. Hopefully it's not going to take me too much work. I'm just taking the rockers off. I want to see what's underneath them. But apart from that, that's it. You can see when I was pressure washing, a small section here peeled off. I actually have been working my way along, peeling off more and more of it. There's a fair bit of Bondo in the trunk, and I don't know why so much. Doesn't make sense because there's no dents anywhere here, but there's, you know, almost 1/8 of an inch of Bondo there. Now you can't see up in here. Somebody did a bunch of mucking around. I'm not sure if they're trying to pull a dent out, if somebody sat on it at some point and dented it all in, or what the deal is. But I think I'm going to remove that all, try and hammer and dolly this out, and then go from there. Now some of what needs to be done is this back section of the panel needs to be replaced, and in the front trunk there, pop that. There we go. And in the front trunk, that part needs to be addressed. I'm hoping it's not going to be too difficult. Doesn't look too bad. I power washed it. That's why it looks a little wet in there, because there was a lot of grease in there. Somebody glopped a bunch of grease in there, I guess, to stop the rust at some point. And you know, usually when you do that, it's already too late. I think you're better off just to try and fix the issue and seal it out wherever it was getting in. Anyways, this isn't going to get done by me yapping about it, so I'm going to see what I can do to start taking some of the bits and pieces off of this guy there. If you saw in the back trunk, there's brake rotors and such. That's basically new brakes for this thing. You know, like wheel bearings, brakes, caliper rebuild kit, all new hoses. You know, parking brake cables, all that sort of fun stuff. And just something, a little note for somebody if you don't know where it is. E-brake cable is right here on the driver's side. I thought was weird. Anyways, that's the story about this car. I'm going to see where I get to today on this. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull the mirrors, the wipers, the antenna off. You know, there's some bubbling here. I suspect there's a big glop of Bondo here. As a matter of fact, I thought I saw from one light you could almost see kind of like a square mark, like somebody had put a patch there. I think you can kind of see the points of it here and here. So I'll address that and go from there. Okay, I labeled both of these taillights. So here's the right-hand one, just labeled the color coding for that. Some of that is not quite so obvious, but that is orange. It almost looks the same color as this red. It looks like a faded red. You can see that out of the way on my finger. Anyways, no, well, not as much rust on this corner. I have a feeling there's going to be a lot underneath this bumper, though. Anyways, moving on. So I just thought I'd mention something. Somebody was remarking about, I remember it was months ago, I don't want to say wrongly, but was saying that Greg Porter, he oftentimes uses like a notebook to keep track of what's going on here. And I was thinking about it, and this would be a good, you know, project for me to start that idea with, because there's sorts of things that it's going to need, you know, that I'm going to forget about, but I'll see as I'm taking it apart. Like, that lens is cracked. Now, whether or not I replace it or not, I don't know, but that's an example of one thing. You know, keep track of the markings on there. I know this marker light that I pulled out, the wire was broken on it, or one of the spades was broken on it, so that'll need to be fixed, and I'll forget about that until I'm putting it together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start taking some notes here. Okay, so looking at the back of this thing, it doesn't look too bad, you know, apart from, well, there's some Bondo that I'm going to end up scraping off or sanding off, but it seems to peel off, so I'll probably just peel it off. Anyways, I digress. The back of this doesn't look too bad. There's a little bit of perforation here that corresponds to the hole in the trunk in there. But otherwise, there's rust on here, but it looks like surface rust, so it's not too bad. It's a little bit of a ding in here, and I'll have to sort that out. I also have to take this emblem off, but I'm not sure if just popping those pins on the back will take it out, or if somebody might have glued it. You know, you can also see right there that just the slight 1.7 that was there. Here is going to need a little bit of patching, but I don't think there's any other perforation. Actually looks pretty good. Bumper also looks pretty good. It'll need to be blasted, painted, but shouldn't be a problem. So, now what? Well, like I said, I'm trying to strip this thing down to get it to a point where I can paint this thing. So I suppose I can work my way forward and take this stuff off, or I can go to the front and I can take the front bumper off and get at that. I haven't figured out what I'm going to do about these light buckets. Rick Fix painted, I forget what he painted. It was a 944. It was one of the ones with hidden headlights, I think. And as I recall, he painted the buckets separately. Nice little pussycat footprint there. Anyways, so that's probably what I'll do with this one. It seems to make some sense. Thank you. Anyways, I'll get to this. Okay, so I got the front bumper and valence off. Somebody had put like 1-inch long screws in to hold the valence in. That was a pain in the ass. They were Phillips as well. I didn't notice until I was having a bear of a time with them. Only major problem on the front here is this bit of perforation right here around the bumper mount, and that's pain because there's actually a bracket behind it, a thicker bracket, more than the sheet metal, so that'll be a little bit of work. There's some iffiness here. We'll see how that turns out. And this was one of those ones when they introduced the 5-mile-an-hour bumpers, and so Porsche's solution was to put 2-inch bumperettes, or sorry, not 2-inch, probably closer to 5-inch bumperettes on the front. I think those are going to come off and they're never going to go back on. I'll see what it looks like with them off, but nevertheless, that bumper looks good. You know, some rust on it, but no perforation for sure. Anyways, I think that's it for today, guys. What's left to strip off this thing? I just heard Vicky leaves. She's going to get us some kind of dinner from Scott's Pizza Burger, which is one of my more favorite places in Mount Forest. Anyways, take this stuff off tomorrow, this stuff off tomorrow, you know, wipers off. I don't know how those come off, so that'll be interesting. Hopefully they pop up and there's a hose underneath. Then it's taking this trim off and these bits of trim off. I'm going to leave the T-top on until I'm absolutely ready to take it apart. I don't know how much of this chrome comes off. I might just end up masking around it. But, so, definitely be starting the body work on this thing this week. I'll have to see if I've got some filler and all that. But so far, no big shocks. I'll pull the rims off and probably blast them and paint them silver. But I might leave that to last. We'll see. It's going to be kind of a pain in the ass because I don't have tires to put on this thing. So I suppose it'll have to sit on some jack stands because I'm not going to do them one rim at a time. Anyways, guys, I'll see you later.